Good morning everyone. Welcome to my online class. Today we will discuss about the chapter 10 from your science, air and water. So all of you open your books and let's learn with me. Chapter name is air and water. The steps of purification of water. So why should we purify water? So we should drink the purified water to remain healthy. Okay. So what are the steps to purify water? First one is sedimentation, second one is filtration, then chlorination and storage. Okay, so we will discuss later in briefly about these various steps. So first, air. So what is air? Air is the composition of various gases in our surrounding. Okay, so all of you remember the name of gases which compose the air. Okay, air is a mixture of many gases. Nitrogen and oxygen are the main components of air. So first, all of you underline this line: nitrogen and oxygen are the main components of air. Oxygen is used for respiration and burning. All of you know it. We exhale carbon dioxide and inhale oxygen in our respiration. Okay. So nitrogen is not required for burning, but it is used by the plants to make their food. So why nitrogen is used? Nitrogen is used to make food by the plants. Then, in addition to nitrogen and oxygen, air consists of small amounts of some other gases including argon, carbon dioxide, neon, helium and methane. Carbon dioxide supports plant life. So, plants use carbon dioxide in the process of photosynthesis. All of you know what is photosynthesis. So, plants use carbon dioxide for the photosynthesis. Okay, so in this space all of you have to remember the composition of air. Okay, properties of air is given. So what are properties? Properties means characteristics. So what are the characteristics of air? First one is it occupies space. That means air, if air is kept in a bottle or in a balloon, you can see the balloon, the volume of the balloon is rise. That means volume, it has volume. That means it occupies space. Okay, then it has weight. So it has also weight. When we fill up the cylinder, then these are the gases, na? So the cylinder has some weight. That means air has weight. And it exerts pressure. Pressure means it exerts some force. Okay, so properties of air, all of you remember this: it occupies space, it has weight and it exerts pressure. Pressure means some force. Then how is air pressure useful? So air pressure is how useful. All of you know, when you pump out some water by a dropper, then it is only because of air pressure. Okay, so here is an activity. All of you try it at your home. Okay, then come to the point, water. So air pressure means the pressure given by the air. Okay, then you do the activity at your home. This is for your homework. Then come to the point, water. So water is also a composition of various minerals or some substances. So like air, water is also essential for our life. All plants and animals need water to live. People have many uses of water besides drinking. So besides drinking, you need water for various works. They use it for washing. All of you underline this line. They use it for washing, cooking, irrigation, gardening, in operating air coolers, etc. Water is also used to generate electricity. The various sources of water are rainwater, oceans, rivers, lakes, stream, ponds, wells, tube well, hand pump, etc. So these are the uses of water, and in the following paragraph, these are the sources of water. Okay, remember the sources and uses of water. So this is very important. All of you attention. Air forms a layer around the earth. So all of you just known about the air. So air was the composition of gases. Now atmosphere. Air forms a layer around the earth. So this layer around the earth is called atmosphere. Okay, this layer of air is called the earth's atmosphere. This underline this line. What is atmosphere? So the layer of air around the earth's surface. Then the condition required to support life. So it has oxygen to breathe and carbon dioxide to maintain temperature on earth. So what are the uses of atmosphere? So atmosphere has oxygen to breathe, okay, and carbon dioxide to maintain the temperature on earth. Then at night it prevents the heat of the earth to escape. Heat means when it becomes hot, then this heat is transferred to the earth or atmosphere. If there was no atmosphere, the earth would have been a cold, freezing place at night. Okay, the ozone layer in the atmosphere prevents the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun to reach the earth. So ozone layer it is present above the atmosphere, and the atmosphere prevents these ultraviolet rays which comes from sun by the atmospheric layer. Okay, so this is the main function of the atmosphere. So it prevents the ultraviolet rays coming from the sun. Then layers of the atmosphere, remember the names. First one is from the below. First one is troposphere, then stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Please remember this name. Okay, first one is troposphere, 12 kilometer above the earth. Stratosphere, 50 kilometer above the earth. Mesosphere, 80 kilometer. Thermosphere, 700 kilometer, and exosphere is 10,000 kilometer. Okay, then troposphere. What is troposphere? It is the first and lowermost layer of the earth's atmosphere. So just remember this line. It is the lowermost surface or layer. Then stratosphere, it is the next layer after troposphere. Okay, and here the ozone layer absorbs the harmful rays of the sun. In this layer, in the stratosphere, ozone layer absorbs the harmful rays of the sun. Then mesosphere, it is the third layer where meteors or rock fragments are burnt up. Meteor means the fragment of rocks. Okay, in this layer it burns up from the sun. This layer of the atmosphere is extremely cold. So this is the very extreme cold surface or layer. Then thermosphere. Thermo means heat. It is the fourth layer of the atmosphere in which space shuttle orbits. Space shuttle means when rockets or space craft sent, then in this layer this spacecraft or rockets settle. Then exosphere, this is the topmost layer, and it is the highest and thinnest portion of the earth's atmosphere. It is the thinnest portion. Thinnest means the very thin layer of the atmosphere. This layer has no upper limit. It gradually merges with outer space, so it has no upper limit. So that means after this layer there is no any limit or not any layer above the exosphere. Okay, all of you remember this point very carefully of what is atmosphere and the layers of atmosphere. Okay, next come to the page number 93. Next, impurities in water. Impurities means the substances which are not necessary for a healthy body or for us. So the substances that makes the water impure to use are called impurities. So remember this line. Water impurities, the substances that makes the water impure to use are called impurities in water. So what are the impurities? This may be smoke, dust, germs, and various insoluble particles. Insoluble and soluble, we have read already in the previous chapter. So soluble means which are mixed completely in the solution, and insoluble means which cannot be mixed completely. For example, mud, oil, etc. And soluble means the water, in water, salt, chemicals, etc. are the soluble impurities. That means chemicals are not necessary for water. That means for pure water. And here also insoluble impurities means the mud, oil, etc. are not necessary for a pure water. So these are the impurities, soluble impurities and insoluble impurities. Remember the examples. Then removing insoluble impurities. All of you know in your home, I think you use the filtration method, isn't it? So this is the these are the various methods by which we can remove impurities. First one is sedimentation, decantation, and filtration. Sedimentation. So first one is sedimentation. So sedimentation, water with insoluble impurities are kept undisturbed in a vessel. Okay, when we keep water soluble or solution in a vessel undisturbed, that means for a long time we don't have to mix it or shake it. Then after some time the insoluble impurities settle down at the bottom of the vessel. Like this, the impurities settle at the bottom, and then the process is called sedimentation. Okay, and these impurities are called the sediments. So this process is called sedimentation. Then decantation. Decantation means after sedimentation, when these impurities settle down, then we have to pour the water slowly or without disturbing the sediment of the impurities, and this is called decantation. So these are the decantation. Then filtration, we have to filter the water or the decanted water. Filtration is the process in which the impure liquid is passed through a filter paper. The filter paper works like a sieve which is used to filter tea leaves from the tea at home. This is the example. We use sieve which is used to filter tea leaves from the tea. Okay. Then these are the process, three processes: sedimentation, decantation and filtration. Understand? Sedimentation means formation of sediment. Decantation means pouring the water without disturbing the sediments, and filtration means filter the water. Okay, then these are the process of removing insoluble substances. Then removing soluble substances or impurities. So these are the process: evaporation and distillation. Evaporation means vapor, we have to heat this, and distillation is the process by which we get pure water free from all minerals. Okay, so salt and other impurities. This process includes evaporation and condensation by which we get pure distilled water. So in distillation process we use evaporation and condensation simultaneously. Okay, after evaporation we have to condense this water to get the pure water. Water is first heated and then it evaporates. So first of all, this is the process distillation. Water is first heated and then evaporates. The water vapors are cooled and then they condense into water which is collected in another flask. So condensation means the water vapors cool down again, and this process is called condensation. So distilled water is used. Uses of distilled water: see it. Then water supply to our homes. Just remember from where the water supplies to our home. Okay. Then the municipality of a town treats the contaminated water consisting germs which can cause diseases, which the waterborne diseases are like jaundice, cholera and typhoid. Water is treated by the process like sedimentation, filtration, chlorination before it reaches our home. So we have discussed about sedimentation, filtration. So now chlorination. The filtered water is taken into the third tank when chlorine is added to kill harmful bacteria. So you can use chlorine to kill the harmful bacteria. So this process is called chlorination. That means addition of chlorine is called chlorination. Okay, and storage, so you know it. Finally the clean chlorinated water is stored in a huge tank and supplied to the city. So when after chlorination, filtration and sedimentation, you store the water in a tank, and this process is called storage. Okay, so these are the process or the about air and water. So we have discussed today atmosphere, water, or the methods of purifying water, etc. So all of you read this chapter, try to understand and send me the audio. Okay, thank you, have a good day.